So glad you could join us for Media Champions today. I'm your host, Mary Treese Griffin, coming to you from Atlanta here on Daily Ad Brief. We like to bring in the subject matter experts that can talk you through this world of marketing, advertising, communication across the board, because you know what? It changes on a dime. And having the subject matter experts to explain it to you is what we're all about. Very happy to take you up to New York City today. We've got with us Cindy Ashton from Speak From Your Power. Cindy Ashton, it is a pleasure to finally meet you over the screen, and I'm excited to talk with you today. Thanks for being here.
Oh, MT, thank you so much for having me. It's so great to meet a fellow TV personality and get to play.
So as we've worked in this world, this crazy world of television, I'm always taken aback by how much it has changed so quickly. Can we talk about that and why it's important to follow the trends and change when you're trying to tell your story? Because you're such a pro at helping people tell their story.
Thank you so much. You know, the key really is listening to the trends. A lot of people are not truly thinking about what's my message and how is it relating to current events. And that's where the big challenge is because people are trying to spew out great content, but that great content doesn't have great context. So you really need to think about what is currently happening in the news, what's my message, and how do I solve that problem? So it's really important to understand how your specific expertise and what you do with your service and your products really helps to shift the world and be part of the change. Otherwise, you're like a fossil. You're no longer in existence. So it's really important to understand how to leverage current trends in your business.
Do you find that when people that you coach, for example, they can talk about their business or what they do, but they don't know how to tell their story? You know what I mean? It's almost like
Yes.
they might just have that elevator speech, but that's it. And what you do with people is so amazing because you kind of bring them out of their shell and show them that there's so much more to their storytelling.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest problems I see is that a lot of people say, Cindy, I know what my problem is that I solve and I know what the solution is. But the problem is we are in a different world today. You know, 2 years ago, life was very normal. We definitely had a lot of challenges in the world that we were navigating. But then COVID hit and suddenly everybody's isolated. All of a sudden, the stress levels and the world events, you know, in terms of what's been going on has caused a huge impact on all of our psyches. And people are tuning out more than ever, and you need to be able to capture attention. But on a bigger level, you need to be able to use your message and your story to be able to connect on a deep and authentic level. Because the truth is that people are hurting right now, and people need to feel authenticity, and they need to feel that deep, authentic connection. And the problem is if all you're doing is spewing an elevator pitch, then you're just an old-time salesperson. And nobody wants to be dealing with that today. They want to deal with people, and they want to buy from people they know, like, and trust. So the key is start to think about, what are my buyers thinking in their head? So instead of just saying, oh, like, for example, I have a client right now that does home staging. You know, she says, well, let me help beautify your home because, you know, you're going to get 7% more. Well, that's a good message, but what's the prospect actually thinking? So in her case, the prospect is actually thinking, well, all my friends come over for dinners. They say my house is beautiful. I don't need staging. But the truth is, so if you actually really address what they're thinking in their head and deal with those objections and weave that into story, it makes all the difference.
And one last thing, if you could give one tip to someone you meet on the street that sees you as you're the TV host, you're the actress, you're the coach, and they say, oh, I don't have a story to tell. What do you say to that?
I say that every human being on this planet has a story to tell, but what I would ask you to do is ask yourself, when you think about other providers who do something similar to you, where are they missing the mark? When you're able to go and look at them and go, they're missing the mark in this way, and this is how I solve it, then ask yourself, what is the story behind that? What is the story behind that? And then you start to see your own story. Then you start to see your value, because each of us has a unique point of view because of our story. But you want to start by seeing what's the problems in the world and what's my point of view and what's that story behind why I have that point of view.
Cindy Ashton, I say, put me in, coach. You're awesome. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, absolutely. You're fantastic.
I hope we see you again soon and keep doing what you're doing. You rock the Casbah.
Thank you so much for having me, everybody.
You bet. If you want to know more about Cindy Ashton and what you need to do as far as learning how to tell your story, and maybe she can coach you along, we can connect you. It's easy to do. Just go to dailyadbrief.com. Hope you'll join us again for more Media Champions. I'm Mary Therese.